Hello and welcome back to Get Up and Game. My name is Josh, and in this video I'm going to be playing some more Marvel United. I'm excited to finally be trying out the Tales of the Spider-Verse expansion because I have heard a few different times now that Green Goblin here is one of the harder villains in the game. And if you've been watching the Marvel United playthroughs, we're on a pretty good streak. We haven't lost any yet. So I think this might be the time where that happens. I'm actually planning on tackling this scenario a few different times just to get a couple different looks at it. In this one, we're going to be playing two-handed using Spider-Man and Black Cat from the promo box. So I want to take a few different teams against Goblin and a few different player counts just to find the differences and just to see how that all plays out. Now, the way Green Goblin works is I have the locations randomized and set out, but you'll notice I don't have any threat cards, and it's because he doesn't start with threat cards in play. Instead, what he's trying to do is he's trying to get the threats put on the locations over the course of the game, and if he manages to get a threat in every spot, then that is how he can win with his villainous plot. And his BAM and the Overflow are going to be adding threats to the locations over the course of the game, so it'll be our job to try to keep them off the board as much as we can. Beyond that, I don't really know what to expect from this scenario, so that's one of the reasons why I want to play it a few times to try to get the hang of it by the end. Now, because I've heard it so difficult, I'm actually letting Spider-Man and Black Cat keep both their double wild and their single wild. I've been trying to play on some of the harder challenges with removing some of the wilds, but for this one, just because I don't know what to expect and I don't know how to play this one very well, we're going to play it on the easiest setting. So we're just going to get Spider-Man and Black Cat's cards shuffled up. And we are going to dive right into this. I'm very excited. Haven't had a chance to play this in a little while. Looking forward to getting back into it. And really curious to see what a really hard villain in this game looks like, because we've had some really good luck. We were able to beat all the core set villains without too much trouble, though I think we got lucky against Taskmaster because I heard he's pretty tough. And then we fought Kingpin and we fought Bullseye, and we managed to get wins there as well. So will this finally be the time where we come out on the losing end? Well, time to see. Villain goes first. And Green Goblin is going to move to BAM. He's just going to do a whole bunch of stuff. So he's going to move to. He's going to BAM. Let's find out what his BAM does. Deal 1 damage to each hero in Green Goblin's location. All right, we're safe there. And then we draw a threat card and place it in the next clockwise location without a threat. So we would be placing it down here where we are. Also, I should have drawn our cards. Let me do that real quick. 3 for Spider-Man and 3 for Black Cat. So Spider-Man's hand is going to be some pretty nice stuff. And Black Cat's, well, we both got our double wild to start the game, so that's probably going to get us off to a really good start. Now we have to put out the threat card. We don't take any damage, thankfully, but let's see what his threats look like. First one is going to be, oh, Craven. Oh, is he bringing the Sinister Six with him? Interesting. I did not look at these cards ahead of time because I wanted to be as surprised as possible. So he's going to have 4 health. He has a BAM, and then this threat gets moved to the next clockwise location with any heroes. Oh, okay, so the members of Sinister Six are going to be moving around. That's interesting. He comes in with 4 health, and I'm also noticing I forgot to put out Green Goblin's health, so I'm just incredibly well prepared for this video. 4 health for him, and in a 2-player game, Goblin should have 5. I was so excited to get back to playing some United, I didn't even bother to finish the setup. Okay, now he is going to be putting a thug here, 2 thugs here, which there's just enough room for, and a thug in Queens. Now I'm planning on just sort of working my way through the expansions one at a time, probably playing each one at least a couple times to get a chance to use all the right themed heroes and stuff that came in the box, and I did just keep with all the Spider-Verse locations. I'm just trying to use as much from just the individual box as I can. So that is the end of Goblin's turn. We got the threat out here. Now, since this came out as part of the BAM, I assume the BAM doesn't immediately trigger. I could be wrong about that, but I don't know if it matters that much. So that's how we're going to play it. So Spider-Man is going to be first. He's going to draw. So we would probably really like to do a bunch of damage to Craven, because we definitely don't want these threats hanging around. I think that's our probably #1 priority. And even though the threat tokens aren't out on the board, every time we clear one, we do still get to put one on the clear threats mission, so we can still clear that mission. So that will likely be one of the missions we complete. And then we'll be focusing on one of the others. And Spider-Man, I looked through his cards very quickly, and he looks like he has a pretty good mix of everything. We do have this Great Responsibility card, rescue up to 3 civilians in your location. And for each civilian rescue with a special effect, you gain a punch token. So you basically get to rescue a bunch of civilians and get a bunch of free damage. That seems incredibly strong. So we could rescue 2 civilians here, immediately get 2 punches, which we could then apply to Craven, which that just seems really attractive. Now that only leaves Black Cat with a movement. And we could have Spider-Man maybe move down to Midtown. And one nice thing about not having the threats on the board is the end of turn actions are immediately exposed. We could also probably smarter to move up here because we could get a punch token, and we definitely want to be thinking about clearing those out. And Black Cat, she has her double wild. Oh, and just a bunch of movement and punch. Okay. So we can maybe have her play her double wild, go up there and knock out the thugs. It's going to be mixing rescuing civilians and defeating thugs, and it feels like it's better to focus on one rather than the other, but sometimes you just got to play the cards that are in your hand too. And I just really like the idea of playing. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with this Great Responsibility card. So we get to rescue up to 3 civilians in your location, so we'll rescue 2. We're wasting a little bit of the card, but that's just kind of what I'm going with. And then for each civilian rescued, we get 2 punch tokens. I'm just going to go ahead and spend them immediately to knock out Craven. Or to start knocking out Craven, rather. He has 2 health left. And then we do have a movement. If we're planning on sending Black Cat up there, then maybe we should just send Spider-Man down here. Sure, let's do that. So Spider-Man will come down here, and he gets a heroic token. So that will be nice. Now on to Black Cat's turn. Be nice if we could finish off Craven. Well, she's gotten all her wilds already. So she has a movement from Great Responsibility. If we played the double wild, we could just finish Craven off. And then she would still have a movement, and this would also set Peter up with a double wild, which obviously is super good. So I think let's just go ahead and do that. So we'll play the double wild here. We'll use them as punches just to finish Craven off, keeping him out. Now, when the threats are defeated, they go back into the threat deck and they get shuffled in. So Craven could be the one that just pops right back out. So you can't really predict it all. You never know what it's going to be. And we still get a threat token. So our first one of those. Now she still has a movement. And I think let's just position her up here with Gabi to be ready to deal with those thugs, hopefully. And she gets a punch token. I really like these Spider-Verse locations. They seem really nice. They've got a lot of really nice effects. They're decently open, and they don't start with that many tokens on them. And back to Spidey. Draws his web slinging, which gives him 2 movement tokens and another movement. The movement tokens are nice, but man, you're not going to get a lot done on that turn if you're just doing so much movement. So he does have 2 wilds and a heroic token. So we could get a lot of work done here at the high school, in addition to whatever card he plays, which could be his double wild. Let's save that for a little later. Now this might be the time to play the web slinging, actually, because we can use the double wild to take care of this. Just pop on over to the Daily Bugle, just to kind of keep working our way around the board, and then have 2 movement tokens in our back pocket. Once again, only leaving a movement for Black Cat, which isn't too exciting for her, I guess, but she's got some other stuff she can do. So yeah, okay, sure. So we'll play web slinging. It's going to give us 2 movement tokens. Not sure if you can hear my dog growling or not. There's some people working outside and he is very unhappy about it. And we still have the double wilds. Let's just go ahead and I guess we'll be doing a mix of clearing everything, or I guess I don't have to. Well, here's the thing. She's definitely going to knock out at least some of the thugs. We'll just do a mix and see which one we get filled first. Maybe this will be the first game where I actually complete all 3 missions. Who knows? Or, you know, if we're very lucky, maybe we can complete these before we even clear all the threats, and then we can just start attacking Goblin that way. Maybe that's the way to go. So we've used our wilds, we've gained our tokens, and we're going to move. I think we'll just move over to the Daily Bugle. Now the end of turn action here is you can reveal the top card of the Master Plan deck and you may place it on the bottom. So let's see what Goblin might be doing. So move 2 and bam, so that would bring him down to Midtown High School. Put some civilians out, that would be fine. Damage, threat would go. That actually seems perfectly fine. Maybe Spider-Man can deal with the threat that's going to end up in his location. You know, I'd rather that than not have the information about what's about to happen, so sure. So we will just leave that there. Seems like there could be worse things. And that's gonna be that. So that's actually what we're just gonna do next. So he's gonna move 2, he's gonna glide on down here. Bam, there's nobody here to damage. And he is gonna draw one of his threat cards, which is gonna be, oh, this is different, using civilians as shield. Green Goblin cannot take any damage as long as there are any civilians in this location. All right. Could be annoying later, but doesn't feel as pressing as one of the minions with a bam on it. And then he's going to put out civilian, 2 civilians, and civilian. So 1 more for Spidey to rescue, 2 more back at the high school, and 1 goes back to Queens. And we are back to Black Cat with movement. Drawing, oh, Cat Claws. When the next Master Plan card is revealed, you may put it on the bottom and draw another one instead. Well, I do very much enjoy scrying in games, and I'm sure some of his cards are worse than others, so that might be nice. Now, we definitely want to be defeating some of these thugs. We at least want to avoid the overflow. So she can move. And then if we do the Cat Claws, that'll give her 1 punch. She could spend another 1, though I'm tempted to hold on to it for maybe taking out henchmen. So let's do that. Let's do that. We're just going to do the Cat Claws. Kind of slide everything down here. So she's got 1 punch. We'll take off this thug. I'm going to hold on to her punch token for now. And then with her movement, and I almost don't want to move and just gain that punch token, but we'll go over. We'll go over to Oscorp Tower and get a movement token. Just have a nice variety of future actions. So now it's Peter, and he's going to have a punch, which I definitely did not think ahead on that. It's not currently helpful, but he's got a ton of movement. And a single punch as well. That's probably not what we're going to do. So let's see. We've got a ton of civilians. I really wish I had that great responsibility now. I could get a lot more done with it. If we wanted to get rid of the threat card there, would take 3 heroic, which we have 1 token. If we play the double wild, we could have 3, just take that threat right off the board. Feels like that's how you're supposed to play Goblin, just keep those off the board. And then that would give her a double wild, which is very, very nice, of course. And then we could use one of his movement tokens to go somewhere and punch something? Sure, let's do that. So we use his double wild, plus his heroic token. We're just gonna finish this threat off. It's gonna get shuffled in. Just keep these things off the board. All right. Threat token number 2. And we still have the punch and we have some movement tokens. So let's just swing on over to the Brooklyn Bridge, use the punch on that thug. And at the end of the turn, we may add 1 civilian to any location, then rescue a civilian from this location. Well, I suppose we can do that. Queens has a decent amount of room left. and that gets us a free token towards rescuing all the civilians, so seems fine. And now we go back to Black Cat. She's got a double wild to work with, along with 2 punches. Very nice. Oh, we really might complete all 3 missions in this game. We just seem to have a ton of actions. Though, maybe we're just drawing all our best cards now. So she has 2 wilds. If we play the double punch, well, maybe we should save that for somebody who really needs it. Let's play her move and a punch. So we have 2 wilds, a move and a punch. We'll definitely use the punch here. The 2 wilds. Let's use her move here. And then the 2 wilds knocking out these thugs. She'll gain a punch token at the end. Really just trying to store up a bunch of damage. Maybe if we get lucky, we can knock out a henchman immediately, or really come after Goblin if we get to that point. So that seems good. Now we need to remember the next master plan card. We can put it on the bottom if we don't like it. So let's see what it is. Well, he's going to move 1 and bam. So he's going to go here. 2 thugs, 1 thug, and 2 thugs. We really lucked out there that he's only putting 1 in his own location. And then that would put a threat where Spidey is. Again, I think we're probably fine with that. So let's do it. So he moves 1. There's nobody to damage. I'm going to draw a threat card. Which is, oh, Kraven's back. Comes in with 4 health. So he's going to go there. And then we're just going to put out some thugs. So we have 2 in the high school. 1 filling up the Daily Bugle. And 2 on the Brooklyn Bridge. So moving on back to Spider-Man. He's got a move and a punch to work with. Draws his single wild. Now we're getting really close to defeating all the thugs. We only need 3 more, and there's 2 in his location. So if we want to, we can push that pretty close. I also like the idea of just doing some damage to Kraven. And probably try to end up down here so we can try to keep this from overflowing. This one is full as well. Black Cat has kind of a little bit of everything, I guess. So I'm not too worried about what we leave her to do. She does have this double punch, so if I set her up with some movement, she could kind of zoom over and just knock Kraven out real quick. So let's try that. We're going to play his move and a punch. So he has 2 moves and 2 punches. Let's just knock 1 off Kraven, make it a little bit easier on her. He still has another punch. He's going to move down here with one of his moves, take out this thug. So that's his other punch. He still has another move. Let's head down here and get ready to deal with this. And he's going to have a heroic token at the end of the turn. Now, Felicia draws, ooh, Cat Luck, reveal the next, okay, same thing as the other one. We could decide if we don't like the Master Plan card. But I think we're gonna stick with, yeah, we're gonna play her double punch. So she has a move and 3 punches. She's gonna use her movement token, so she has 2 moves. Move, move. 3 punches, knocks out Kraven yet again. Shuffling back in. Getting our 3rd clear threats token. So we're moving at a good pace here, and we are really close to completing 2 of the missions. And I think I did everything, yes. Back to Spidey. He's working with 2 punches, and he's just got a ton of different options, not to mention some tokens. So we could defeat the thugs, with the 2 punches, and then you definitely want to rescue at least one of those civilians. Could use his heroic to rescue a second and get moving pretty well on that one as well. The problem is, if I do complete defeat thugs, it'll put Goblin under pressure, and we're not that close to rescuing all the civilians. Now, he'll probably put out a threat on the next turn. Seems like he does that every time. That would give us a way to get our second mission done. And then this is going to be the last turn before he goes. So if we're going to put him under pressure, now seems like an okay time to do it. So you know what? I think I am okay with it. Yep, we're going to play his move and a heroic. So we've got 2 punches. We are just going to complete the defeat thugs mission. A heroic is going to save a civilian. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and spend this token to save another one. Let's just try to get these done. Or should I wait? I guess there's no need to hurry, and maybe I can use that to save a location that's gotten full. We're not under any pressure to spend it right away. And then he can move. We're going to move back here because I really like the idea of looking at the master plan card. So now he would be moving 3 over to Osborne Laboratories. He would bam, which would put a threat in Queens, and then he would do 2 civilians, 2 civilians, 2 civilians. So we have room for everything. That does fill Queens up, and that's kind of the opposite side of the board from where we all are. Now, she could have a decent amount of movement. You know what? I still like the idea of just going with the one I know rather than going with the unknown. So we're going to let this one stand, and then that's going to play. So he's going to go 3, 1, 2, 3. Bam, puts a threat out in Queens. Oh, this time we get the lizard. He has 5 health, and he does a whole bunch of damage if you end up in his location. All right. So 5 health, and then we've got a ton of civilians going on the board. So really filling up these locations. Oscorp Tower's full, the laboratory is close, and Queens is full. So we are rife for some overflows here. And this is a really dangerous location to be in, and we need to get there. But I think that is the end of Goblin's turn, so it's Felicia's turn. She has a move and a heroic to work with, as well as her cat instincts. Gain any combination of 2 of the different tokens. Man, that is nice. It's so fun playing with a new hero every time, getting to know their cards. It's just really cool to see the different ways the heroes play. It's so much fun. So we definitely need to start working on this side of the board. She's got a move and a heroic already, which is nice because we definitely want to save a civilian there. And then it'd be nice if we could just get all of them and just start attacking Goblin as soon as possible. So if we did the cat instincts, she'd really be able to get over here quickly, get some tokens to set herself up perfectly. That just seems really good. Let's do that. So she's got a move and a heroic. We'll just go ahead and move and save here. Now she has another move, and she's also getting 2 tokens of her choice. And we'll probably just take heroics because we want to rescue civilians. Should we get some movement? Well, she's got 1 single move card. I don't know how mobile she is in general. If we just stayed here and rescued 2 civilians just to work on this, she would get a free move token. Sure. So then we'll let the 2 tokens she gets be heroics. Oh, that's not where those go. And she gets a free move token from the tower. I guess she borrows a glider. So now we're on to Spidey. Now he's only got a single movement, so that's not terribly exciting. And he gets his great power, 3 punches, and for each thug defeated with a special effect, gain a heroic token. Oh my goodness. Well, that's a little less appealing now, but we could still save that for 3 punches on Goblin later. Or Lizard, I suppose. Oh, yeah. Let's see, he's getting 1 movement from Black Cat. He has a movement token, so we could get to Queens. And then he could hit Lizard 3 times. And then if she could finish him off, which she has her 2 punch tokens, that would finish him off. That would be the 4th clear threat. I think I like this plan. I'm just hoping we have enough damage left over to defeat Goblin when the time comes. But we'll worry about that when we get there. So we are going to play Great Power, which gives us... Oh, that one also has a movement. So we have 2 movement. We're just going to go 1, 2 over to Queens. He gets 3 punches from the Great Power, so let's do that. And we didn't defeat any thugs, so we don't get any free heroic. Should I maybe defeat 1 thug just to get the free token? That does feel kind of like a waste. But then that's just more damage she has to do. Oh, and she needs 2 movement to get... Okay, yeah, we're going to be fine. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hit the Lizard. That's good. Now, the problem is it is now Goblin's turn, and I did not factor that in. Forgot he was under pressure, so I guess we're just going to see what happens here. Is this where things suddenly turn against us? Maybe. Oh, yeah, because we're in Lizard's location. He's going to bam. Well, oh, yeah, this looks real bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's in Felicia's spot. He's going to deal 1 damage to her. So she's going to lose a card. We'll just give up. She has 1 movement. She's got a movement token. I think we'll just give up this single movement. Seems the least exciting. And then he's going to get a threat card, which is using civilians as a shield. That one's really not so bad, I don't think. I mean, it might end up being annoying, but... But also we need to remember that the Lizard Bams deal 2 damage among heroes in this location. We could decide how we split it, but it's just going to be Spidey taking the hit. And we just keep the double action, right? Seems good. So Lizard definitely got a swipe in there. And we put the thread out. I think we did everything. Oh, and we have to put out the tokens, of course. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna have an overflow here too. Well, I'm out of plastic tokens and my cardboard ones aren't handy, so I'm just gonna take some off the defeat thugs here. We know it's complete, so that's fine. And then we need to put a thug and a civilian here. A 2 civilians here. Oh, we're gonna have an overthrow there. Ugh. So civilian, and you put out the thugs first, I believe, if there's gonna be a choice. And then we can't put out civilians, so we have an overflow. 4 or more can't be added. Draw 1 threat card and place it in the next clockwise location without a threat. So we have 1 going into the Midtown High School. This one is going to be Electro. When this one bams, you deal damage to each hero in both adjacent locations. All right, now all of a sudden, things are tightening up. But we did survive. It is Black Cat's turn, and she has a movement. And her cat claws, this would let us control the encounter deck a little bit. Or master plan deck. I get my Marvel Champions and Marvel United terminology mixed up from time to time. Now, if she could rescue a civilian where she was, she could just immediately attack Goblin. She's in his location. We just need to clear. This is complete. We just have to remember I had to steal some tokens from it. So if we just rescued a civilian, we have 2 punch tokens. Spider-Man doesn't really have anything in the way of damage, though. So if we stick with the plan and she moves down here, knocks out the Lizard, clears this rather, and she could also rescue, oh, okay, she could also rescue a civilian, and then we've completed all 3 missions, and we could all heal 1. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds fun. So for the first time, I think we'll be completing all 3 missions here on the channel. So we're gonna play Cat Luck, and then, so she's getting 1 movement from Spider-Man's card. She's gonna spend her movement token. Come down here, use her 2 punches to beat up on the Lizard. So that's going to be our fourth clear threat. We'll shuffle him back in. And we'll use the heroic from the cat luck to rescue a civilian, which completes that mission, which means everybody gets to immediately draw cards. So Spider-Man's gonna have, oh, double punch, nice. And Black Cat gets another cat. Wow, she has a lot of special cards. That's fun. So that was good. We all got a little healthier. I believe she used everything. And if you have 1 or 2 cards in hand, oh, she has 3 now. So she could have healed, but she already healed, so that's fine. Now we do get Spider-Man's turn before Goblin goes again, and now he is fully exposed. We just need to get to him and deal 5 damage. We do have a double punch. We have simply a heroic and a movement. We don't have enough movement to get to him. And since he's going to end up moving somewhere over here probably, I'm not going to bother to try too hard. Also, I forgot to put out Electro's health. He's got 4, there we go. So now it's really just a matter of managing the board and trying to hit Goblin when we can. So I think we're just gonna play, I don't wanna waste any of our damage. Just gonna play this double heroic for now. It's gonna give him 3. We're just gonna stay here, rescue all these civilians, which means I can put these back here for now at least. Probably have to use them again. But it looks cool having them all full up, so I definitely want to do that. And so he used all his actions. I'm not going to waste his movement token because I want to have it to chase Goblin down since we don't know where he's going. Well, we kind of do. We have the cat luck, so we'll be able to control a little bit maybe. Maybe we can set this up for ourselves. Got some tokens here. And if you have 1 or 2 cards in your hand, you may draw cards. So nice. So we're feeling much better. Now it's Goblin's turn, but we have the cat luck, so if we don't like it, we can put this on the bottom. It's going to move 4 and bam, put out a whole bunch of thugs. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is pretty far away. And then we get an overflow here. Wow, we get 2 overflows. Okay, I think this counts as a card that we do not like. So let's put this on the bottom and see if we can't keep him closer to us. So thank you, Felicia, for your cat luck. We get 1 and bam, that's much better. And then kidnap. If there are any civilians in Green Goblin's location, take 1 and place it on his dashboard. And he can't be damaged if there are any civilians. If you're in his location, you can use 2 heroic to rescue a civilian. Okay, well, that's kind of a lot, but it still feels like better than it was. So let's move 1 here. Gonna bam, there's no one to damage. He is putting out a threat, which corporate thugs. Oh, and he can't be damaged there. Oh, darn it. He is going to use the civilians as a shield. Anyway, the corporate thugs, when this threat is placed, add 2 thugs to this location. Each thug in this location requires 2 damage to be defeated. Wow, that threat does quite a bit. So 2 thugs get added here, and now they're all doubled up. He actually isn't putting out any tokens this time, which is nice, but he is going to kidnap those civilians, and he's holding on to them. So now we need to rescue that before we can damage him, and we can't even damage him here because of this threat card. Darn it. Okay, well, we're back to Felicia's turn. She's getting 2 heroic from Spider-Man, which that might actually end up being really nice. We could either go up there and rescue that civilian, or should we just get rid of that stupid threat? I guess not, because he's going to move. So it's probably not worth spending the actions on that. Now the only movement she has is her single wild. So I guess that's what we're going to do. Oh man, that really slowed us down. So yeah, we'll play her single wild. She can move up here. She's in his location, so she can spend the 2 heroic to rescue this civilian. So that's good. And that just brings us to Spider-Man's turn. Now he still can't be damaged there, so even though we have some damage in our hand, we can't use it, and we are starting to get low on cards. I wouldn't mind hanging out with Electro because he damages in adjacent locations but not in his own, so I could use the movement to head down here and then just hope Goblin comes sort of close by. Let's see, let's see. Oh, I don't know. I'm feeling like I'm really running out of time here, and I've got to try to manage what actions I have left wisely. Make sure I have the movement when I need it. So I think we're just going to use... I don't want to use up any of his damage, but I don't want to use up any of his movement either, because I feel like I'm going to need it. Let's see. She's only showing 1 damage right now. He's showing 3, so as it stands, we don't quite have enough to defeat him. Well, I guess we do, because we're going to be sharing each other's actions, but I still don't want to waste it. I'm really having a hard time deciding what to do here. I'm going to use this move in heroic. I just really want to save all my damage, I think. So we're going to use the Wild from Felicia to rescue a thug. Move in a heroic to rescue this civilian. And then that'll set her up with some movement. I don't know. I don't know if that was good or not. We have some movement token here as well. We have 1. And we don't have a cat claws thingy, so we don't know what he's going to do. He's going to move 1 and bam. So he's still staying close by. That's nice. He goes here. There's no one to damage. He's going to put a civilian, 2 civilians, and a civilian. So that's all pretty good. And 1 token short again. Civilian. 2 civilians. And a civilian. And Electro would deal 1 damage to each hero. That's fine. And, oh, and the BAM would have brought another threat out, which is going to be the lizard is back over here. And that is 4 of 6. Man, he really puts those out fast. We did a good job of keeping those off the board, and he's already back up to 4. I don't know if we're going to win this game, but we've done a pretty good job of hanging in there, and I could see how this could be really hard. That I just feel like the threats are going to flood the board pretty easily if you're not careful. And I thought we were careful, and they're still flooding the board. All right, can we finish him off? He's in position. Hopefully she draws some kind of double punch. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now that's not going to help Spider-Man do any damage. But she's going to be able to punch him twice. And then Spider-Man is going to be able to hit him twice. I think that's the best we're going to be able to do. He has 5 health. If she gives him a punch, she does a damage. He moves in, he does 2, 3 more. Well, either way, I think we come up 1 damage shy. Well, I still think Cat Claws is the right card to play here. So we're going to use that. She has a move and a heroic. So we'll just, we'll rescue the civilian here so it doesn't overflow and move. And she has 1 punch from the Cat Claws. He doesn't get protected by the thugs. No, we don't care about that. And we have a little bit of protection against the next Master Plan card. And now Spider-Man, drawing his last card, gets a single wild. So he is just going to use his double punch. Going to use his movement token to go over here. He has 3 punches. So one shy of defeating him. But as long as he doesn't run too far away, I think we'll be okay. I'm going to go ahead and spend this heroic while I'm at it, just to rescue another civilian, just in case. I'd hate to suddenly lose the game on an overflow just because I had a heroic token I never got around to spending. And we have Cat Claws, so if we don't like this card, we can get rid of it. So, oh, he's going to stay put. Oh, boy. Okay. Gonna bam. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, Green Goblin has 1 extra health and deals 1 extra damage with his bam. Oh my gosh, we are so lucky that this did not come out earlier in the game, because that definitely just makes him that much harder. Man, we got really, really lucky with that. Okay. Now, do we want this, though? We could move this to the bottom. So he would stay put, which obviously we want. He bams. He's going to deal... Well, does the text... I don't know when the text takes place. Does this immediately deal an extra damage, or is it after the bam? If you do everything in order, then this text has not come into effect yet. So that's what we're going to do. And we are going to let it happen because we want him to stay put.
I've made a huge mistake.
So he's gonna bam. Spider-Man takes the damage. We'll just put this movement on the bottom. Black Cat takes the damage. We'll just put this cat look on the bottom. It's not gonna matter. Electro, oh, then Electro bams. Oh, this is bad either way. So now Spider-Man's taking the damage. We'll keep the wild. But Black Cat's taking a damage, and then she gets knocked out. Which, okay, he doesn't have any special bam rules for KOs, so I guess he just gets to play another card. Or he gets to bam again, rather. Oh, boy. This got real bad. So he's bamming again. And now he deals 2 damage, I guess. And gets his extra health. Sorry, folks, I'm not 100% sure of all the timing on this, but I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. Either way, Spider-Man's getting knocked out. Which means... Oh, and when he bams, he puts out... Oh, no. No, I screwed up. We lost. Because the first bam would have put out Corporate Thugs. And then when Black Cat got bammed, the Kraven went out. And then the heroes lose when all locations have a threat card. Well, there you go. My goodness. On the easiest difficulty, with having him pretty well handled the whole game, we still managed to lose just on the flip of 1 card. Goodness. Just the way this played out, I feel like he could beat you a lot faster and a lot easier than that even. Well, okay. I guess that is our first loss in United here on the channel. Green Goblin has triumphed over us, and that was even with our double wilds. I was kind of assuming, we were going to win this game the way it was going. And then, next time we would dial it up a little bit and see how that went. But I don't know if we need to dial it up or not. That was plenty rough enough there, the way it ended. Well, all right. Then we are going to come back next time, challenge Goblin again. We'll have a 3-hero team. I think I'm going to bring some more heroes from the Spider-Verse box. We'll bring Gwen Stacy and Miles Morales. And then I'm thinking either Spider-Ham or Spider-Man 2099. And we'll try it 3-handed and see how that plays. In the meantime, I want to thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was fun. Just continue to really, really enjoy this game. And it was really fun to play something a little bit more challenging. And I hope you join me next time we take on Green Goblin. And I look forward to seeing you next time we get up in game. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.